I was asked to add some commentary on a post by Brandon Duncan, and the post is actually really good, especially if you're on N8N. This video right here, it's basically copy paste as far as I can tell. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go over a little bit considerations for when you should be building this out in a post call webhook versus an intra-call webhook. So a pre-built tool or a custom tool. And then I'm going to hopefully show you how to get it done inside BuildShip. With a custom tool and a pre-built tool, those are called intra-call tools. What that means is you should be using those only when customer calls in, you get information, and then to carry the information and carry the conversation forward, you need the result of a tool call. So let's say you're qualifying somebody. Somebody calls in, they're qualified, great, here's this information. They're not qualified, terrible, here's this information, right? If you need something like that, it has to be an intra-call tool. If you're doing something that doesn't require that, like imagine a task. Somebody calls in, asks for something to be done, task is created, and then more information is shared, and then they hang up. How are you going to navigate that extra piece of information that was shared after the task was created? You could add another workflow to delete the old task, create a new task, or update the task. Then you have to do more on the prompting side of things, everything else. It gets a lot more complex. Some other considerations. Each tool you add to your bot, not only do you have to probably prompt around it if you're going to call it consistently, that makes that a lot more complex, and the prompt gets longer, so it slows down the bot. And the more tools you have connected to the bot, it slows down the bot. And you're probably incurring more costs because now you're doing more tool calls. So what are those endpoints you're reaching out to? Are they free to run every time? Versus a post-call webhook, you always get the transcription. And I've been with Assistable for a while now, and I've not had, to the best of my knowledge, a failed post-call webhook with not including a transcription. So if we're getting the transcription every time, and we could run one or two tools on it and be done every time, it's more resilient. It makes the bot faster. It makes it simpler. That makes it easier to build and manage for customers. It might be a good option if you're doing something that doesn't need more information on the call. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you what it would look like if we did a post-call webhook through GHL. So on this left side, we got inbound trigger. We got find contact by contact ID. And don't worry about this conditional. This is just for you to separate on one page what it would look like doing the post-call webhook straight to GHL versus using another service. So this left side, let's call it internal parsing. We have the whole transcript that's being passed to ChatGPT just to pull out what task needs to be done. And then pushing that again to ChatGPT to create the title for that task. And then we're creating the add task. So every piece of information, you can't have multiple pieces of information on one task unless you're okay putting that into one field, right? If I wanted the task description and the task title and I wanted to put that in one field, let's call it task, and I'm actually updating that contact field with that task, that's great. That works because it's going to put everything it extracts into one output called ChatGPT-1 response. However, if you want them separated, like put into different fields, like first name, last name, address, city, state, whatever custom value you want, or even task title and task description, you would need to run a new tool for each one of those. And that gets really expensive. The cost for it is about 3 cents per tool call. So even this one right here, we have just this one and this one. That comes out to 6 cents added on top of every call. And this is a very simple workflow. Imagine if you actually want to update all the fields for your contact, everything they share, that can be more than $1 per call. And if you're doing something like managing a call center or replacing a call center, that would be extremely expensive. I'm going to show you another way of doing it. I'm going to show you how to do it in BuildShip. And this is what it looks like in BuildShip. It's very similar to how it's built in N8N, but instead of horizontally, it's vertically, and there's a few other considerations. But this is hard-coded right here. I just want to show you how it was getting done. So instead of putting that post-call webhook link that we pulled from GHL in that trigger link, we're actually taking this link up here, the REST API call, and putting that in the post-call webhook. So go to your bot, go over to the side, look at call settings, post-call webhook link, and then do a test send. That's going to send all the information for you to pull through. Then we have all the information right here, and all we have to do is say what fields do we want to extract from this text, because it's all saved as text when it's a transcription. So we're taking task title, task. You can say everything you want. But right now, just task title and task description. And then we scroll down and then we send it back to that trigger. Now, there's a big change potentially happening in the very near future, which I'm extremely excited about. So right now, post-call webhooks do not include location ID. But when they do, instead of having to send this back as a post-call, back into GHL as a inbound webhook, which has that extra fee associated with it, we can actually go straight to sending an API call to GHL. So yes, this is an API call to GHL, but I'm saying straight to their API versus straight to their the custom webhook that we built. So let me go ahead and show you inside of GHL what this looks like. We can add a task, and then it already has inbound webhook request, query params, task underscore title, and task underscore description. Now, this is a really lame comparison, the side by side of these two, because it's just two ChatGPT extractions and one tool. But let's say we wanted to do more. This would get extremely expensive on the left side versus all the cost is already incurred on BuildShip doing that one tool call to extract and parse out all the information we want. And we can add all the different things. We can do update contact, all these things over here, and they don't add extra cost. And if we're doing it via an API call, we don't even need the custom tool or the workflow, sorry. I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but I am sick, so I just promised I'd get this out. So here we go. Trying to be as fast as I can. Anyways, I think that's all the information that I need to share here. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to add to, go deeper on, add for my next video, whatever. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.